heard the roaring of the crowds. Now he lives on the edge of town. Once he exploded onto the scene, that guitar screamed out the melodies. You see me somewhere, he lost the fight. That voice just faded into the night. Then came a hands of fate, not a second too late. He said, boy, you just gotta play. The lightning strikes, you know it's right. Your guitar is calling you home. Into the night, you pay the price. Your gypsy heart needs to roll. You got to get back to Dogbone, yeah. That's where your six-string gun control. It's like a fever, you got to sweat. If you're so tough, you can lick 'em yet. Just take it from the top, this time you'll never stop. You know that's where you belong. The lightning strikes, you know it's right. Your guitar is calling you home. Into the night, you pay the price. Your gypsy heart needs to roll. You got to get back to Dogbone, yeah. That's where your six-string gun control. That's where you belong. You got to get back to Dogbone, yeah. That's where your six-string gun control. All right.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Took a little break because I had this show to concentrate on that I did for Toys for Tots and this, that, the other thing. I planned on taking the rest of the month off uh, in December, but the opportunity arose to chat with Bryan Jay, so I could not turn that down, and I had to get it scheduled. We got one for next week too. Mike Floros is going to be here with he's with Steel City and Love and Chains. So gonna do two, and then gonna take a little break till after the first of the year, probably till late January. But anyway, today we have Bryan Jay. There's so much about Bryan Jay. Okay, you know him from Keel. Okay, everybody knows that. But he's got so much other stuff going on, like that Dogbone resurrected that band. He's got dude, he's got so much going on. Plus, I want to pick his brain about a couple subjects that, he's a musician. I want his point of view on this. So, without much more hesitation, let's bring on Bryan Jay.
Hey, Mike.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's
Ready
everything?
for the holidays?
I'm getting ready.
Getting ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
That
It's
seems
like
to
a
be
process.
the
It's definitely a process.
Oh, it's a process, man. And then you throw everything else in the mix. Like I just did a big Toys for Tots event, and you get you get behind the 8 ball, and you're scrambling. But this year, I think I'm a little ahead of the game, so I'm doing pretty good.
And you're lucky.
I know. I think I'm doing pretty good, but you
Word.
know, I'm probably not doing pretty good. Wanted to say this: we have a mutual friend in Aaron Fisher.
Yep.
And I know he's going to want me to bring this up. He didn't tell me to bring it up, but he told me something. And he really likes one of your guitars.
Yeah.
And he
Which
said
one
you
is
will not sell it to him.
that? Which one?
The Twilight Zone
Oh,
guitar.
yeah. I've had so many offers for that guitar.
That is a killer guitar, man.
Yeah. It's one of a kind.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Speaking of Christmas, what is I'm pretty sure you're gonna probably say you got a guitar, but what would be the best Christmas present you received, like younger years?
Oh, it was a guitar, actually.
It was a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't my first acoustic guitar, but it was a nicer acoustic guitar than my first one.
Right.
I was probably around 15, 16, 15 maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been the best Christmas gift at that time.
Right. I mean, I had a feeling you'd say guitar because most musicians say when they got their first instrument, it's like it's a no-brainer because that kind of changes your life, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know. But okay, so everybody knows you were with Keel or are with Keel. You're still Keel. Keel is not dead. They're not going anywhere. They're still alive and kicking, doing things. Keel Fest. Ron Keel's got the Ron Keel band. He's got his solo. That boy is such a workhorse. I mean,
Absolutely.
he does not take any time off, and he's one hell of a guy to be affiliated with, really.
Absolutely. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it either. God, I had him down here, did a show with him last December. Super nice guy. Really, the first time I really got to meet him. And super nice guy. It just has so much going on. So does Keel have anything going? Everybody's going to want me to ask this. Any new music coming from Keel? Keel Fest in the works. Keel Fest 3, I guess it would be in the works. Anything going on behind the scenes that you can
Well, that's pretty easy right now because there's nothing in the books at the moment.
That's what I figured.
We've been talking about it, but nothing to announce. But yeah,
Right.
never say never.
Never say never. And Keel is still out there doing their thing, every now and then when they pop up. And Ron does it right. You all do it right. You don't overdo it. You do a show here or there, and it attracts the crowd. You're not trying to do one every couple months at these little podunk towns or whatever. You're not trying to oversaturate it. You're doing it right.
Right. I mean, with us, we all live all over the country, so it's not so easy to get us all together. So, yeah, we have been doing it right when the right gigs are in place. We get on a plane and get together, and our brotherhood, is always there, and it's always good to see everybody.
Oh,
But
hell
it's
yeah.
been like, geez, we did Keel Fest in March, so hopefully we'll do something next year or the year after. That'll be our 40th year anniversary next year.
Right. 1984.
Yeah.
It'd be Keel's 40th anniversary. It's like, man, I'm thinking ahead going, is there something going to be happening? Because I'm trying not to book a lot of shows. All these shows keep getting announced, and I have not bought tickets for anything yet because I'm going to let it all play out, by the first quarter of next year, and then figure out what the hell I can do.
Probably smart way to do it.
Right. I don't want to, like today, Def Leppard was announced doing their thing, and I've seen them many times. And I looked at the calendar. I don't have tickets bought for Sammy Hagar yet, but that's a week before Sammy Hagar. I was like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
There's certain priorities,
Right.
but, hoping something plays out for the 40th. That would be really cool. That would be really cool.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully.
Right. Now, Dogbone. Let's dive right into Dogbone. I know you want to talk about Dogbone because I want to talk about Dogbone. That is a band probably not many people know. I mean, it's crazy enough as it is. Not many people dive into, they know one band you're with and they don't really go in other directions and follow too much. It takes people like me and others to bring it out and say, hey, look at this, check this out. Now, Dogbone was 2009. Am I correct?
No.
Okay.
2009. It started when I left Keel for the first time. It was like 89.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the original singer, Eddie Size, my good friend, we started writing songs together. And we had a band before I joined Keel, Eddie and I, along with Lonnie Vincent from Bullet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
We actually opened for Steeler.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and that's the first time I met Ron.
Wow.
My roommate at the time was Greg Chason from
Great
Bad
guy.
Plans.
Great
And
guy.
he was playing in Steeler at the time, and we opened for him. I believe it was at Dancing Waters Club in San Pedro, California. And that was the first time I met Ron. And I don't know, a month or two after that, I was in the band. He started.
Wow.
Yeah. It's went pretty quick. But Dogbone started in 89. It really wasn't Dogbone yet. It was just me and Eddie writing songs.
Right.
And we wrote like 25, 30 songs, and we had all these ideas. And it started coming around in 1990. Dwayne Miller from Keel joined.
Mm-hmm.
And we later had a guy named Rob Thiessen, a Canadian guy that moved down to Hollywood, tried to make it. And the band was together. We started writing songs together and doing shows. We played the Hollywood scene, Whiskey, Dancing Waters in South Bay, and
everywhere you could.
Orange County area too, like Concert Factory, places like that.
And,
it was going well, but right at that time was when the grunge scene was.
Yep.
And I was meeting with managers and lawyers, trying to get a record. We wanted to get a record deal. That was the whole idea.
Right.
And, just people weren't interested in our style of music anymore. It's just the whole thing changed. The whole music business changed at that time, at least for us 80s guys.
Us 80s guys.
Yeah.
Real music fans.
You got that right.
You got that right.
And it was just very difficult. And the singer ended up leaving. That's when Rhett Forrester came in. And Rhett wasn't in the band very long. We didn't really last that long at that point. I immediately hit it off with Rhett. We started writing songs together, and we went in and started just demoing songs. We actually never got out and played a show with Rhett. And it just kind of fell apart after that. And Rhett left. I think he moved back to Atlanta. And then, tragically, it was killed.
Right.
But that was like the end of Dogbone at that time. So it wasn't until the last Monsters of Rock cruise we did, 2020, that Dwayne and I were like talking, like, dude, we should do a side project, And I was like, been working with this singer named Bob Reynolds, and we were writing songs for my music library, and every time we'd write a song, it would be like, dude, man, this sounds really good. We should start a band.
We should start, guys. We should start a band.
This is just fun in the library, but everybody needs to hear this.
Right.
So Dwayne and I were talking, and I'm like, dude, it's a singer. Why don't we find a bass player and put something together? And that's how it reformed. But then that was right as the pandemic hit.
Right.
I mean, we literally were on the cruise. We pull in the dock. It was like a week later. They're shutting the whole country down, the whole world
Yep.
down.
Yep.
So it just kind of, you know, didn't do anything for a while. I was still writing songs with Bob from my library, but then we got, you know, things started opening back up. We're like, hey, let's move forward with this, and so that's where we're at now. And we released the first single on Ron Keel's RFK Media,
Live the Rock
Live the
CD.
Rock Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Yeah, and that was the first song we've released, and I have another one I'm working on right now. New single should be out by the end of January, early
Nice.
February, along with video. So I'm looking forward to that. And we have a couple others in the can. They'll be coming out after that. So it's, you know, excited about that. The new music.
Oh,
sounds,
yes.
yeah, really loving it.
And it sounds great. And the new single is called Speed Kills. That was actually released back in March on Ron Keel's Live the Rock Volume 1. A bunch of different bands on there. If you don't have that CD, go get it, because it features bands like Dogbone, Snakebite, Pamela Moore. There's so many great tunes on this CD.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. And we used to live for them, you know, the Metal Massacres, the compilation albums. That's how we found
Yeah.
new bands.
Well, that was
And
the first record I was on. I did the US Metal
Metal.
with Keel. We did
Yeah.
Speed. That
Yeah.
was my first actually being on a record album.
Really.
So yeah, the compilation records.
You gotta love them. I mean, I wish people would do more of them. Hats off to Ron for doing this one. I'm sure he's got a volume 2 in the works. That guy just can't rest.
Yeah, I hear you.
But you know, there's so many great bands. And Dogbone is, I think I had heard of it, or Aaron said something to me about it, something. And then once I got the CD, I was actually able to listen. And I'm like, wow, this sounds new, but don't get me wrong, not new. It's got that old vibe to it,
Yeah.
but it's new music. And
Yes.
you don't want to say new music because people get turned off so easily when you say new music. I mean, it is amazing. Your door slams in your face. You know, okay, I know Bryan Jay from Keel. Yeah, Keel. Okay, he's with Dogbone. I don't know. And they walk away. It's like, wait a minute, you know, but most people are starting to come around now because the quality of music that is coming out, like Dogbone, is better. It's right where people want to hear it. And so it's good.
Yeah, and it's amazing, you know, just technology today. It's like, you know, that's basically done on my laptop.
Right.
It's just wild. It still blows my mind, you know, coming from, you know, analog tape, all those records in the studio, and then I can just open my laptop and make that sound. It's pretty wild. I still not like, how does this happen?
How does this happen? I sit there and go, because anybody can put out a record. Anybody can manipulate their voice. Anybody can manipulate the way they look, the way they sound. They can add drums. It's all, so they put a single, and I think that's what turned a lot of people off, was the manipulated, you know, how pop music mainly is manipulated so bad that you're not getting that actual person. I mean, they don't sound like that.
That's the challenge. You know, I try to make it sound like it's, you know, real amps, because I'm not even using real amps. Everything's in the box, and it, you know, that's one of my goals, is to get it to sound like, well, you know, you really can't tell. I mean, maybe, like, you know, engineers with a good ear can tell, but, you know, your audience, I don't think they know.
No,
Hey, you need to use an amplifier on that.
No, and a lot of people do it. I mean, it's the state of the way it is now. Everybody, like you said before, everybody's around the country. You can't sit in a room anymore. So send this file to that one. That one adds this and this and that. Da, 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 da. It's crazy how it works now.
It's the way of the world now.
We're going to get into a little crazier subject, because I want to get your thoughts on something else a little later, you know, because there's something in the news kind of toward that realm there that I'm like, having a hard time wrapping my head around.
I think I can guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what it is, and there's a connection between you and them guys. So we'll get to that. But Dogbone. So you got the next single coming out January. Is there any plans for like an EP or put it all together, or are you feeling it just like everybody else is feeling it, that really singles are the best way to go nowadays, even
Well,
though
it
guys
might
like me
be,
like that
yeah,
physical?
that was my plan to put out an EP.
Mm,
Putting out a couple singles first, just getting people to see how people react to the music and what kind of situations going on. It's like if we're gonna put music out and no one likes it and doesn't want to hear it, what's the point of doing a record?
I
But
like it. I want to hear it.
yeah, so yeah, hopefully, I mean, I'd love to do a full record. I mean, that'd
Right,
be the goal. I'd love to get out and do some gigs.
right.
We'll put out a couple more songs. Let's see how things go, and we'll go from there. We all don't live in the same town, and it's
Right,
it's it's hard to get everybody together. So we
right.
are doing the whole sending files, and
It's
everybody has their own studio, and it was piece it together. But
kind of
uh,
crazy anymore. It just
yeah,
really, if you think back, because you're an 80s guy, you're like, remember sitting in the room and sitting in the studio and all five guys, and it's like nowadays, it's like, how did we get here?
it's lonely. Just
It's slow.
by
It
myself.
is. It is. You want
Lonely.
a speakerphone and just put everybody on FaceTime and go, okay, well, I got you all here. Let's do
Yeah,
something. I
that doesn't really
mean,
work, but
no, it doesn't. It's not like it used to be. And now people would, they'd rather sit on their phones and watch a YouTube video rather than go to the show that's right down the street. Hey, you're going. How about you go live so I can watch it? That takes
yeah,
everything.
it's a new world, that's for sure. And
I
things have changed so quick. I mean, how did we
quick.
do this just in the last 15 years? Just
Right.
just how much has changed. It's just wild, wild
It,
how fast it's
it
changed.
is. And it's like, it makes me wonder, you know, why why someone like you would want to go and put new music out. I know it feeds your soul. It's something you have to do. It's in you. You have to write. You have to put it out there. But it's like, if anybody's trying to make money at it, it'll tell you right now, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's difficult. That's why you need other things in your life. I
Right.
have a music library. I license music to TV shows and film
Oh, yeah. We're going to get to that.
and teach guitar, do whatever you got to do to make ends meet. So yeah, it's not easy being in a band today.
No,
I know a lot of guys, they can't tour because they just don't pay it. It doesn't pay enough,
no.
unless you're a huge band and getting paid well. There's a few of those out there that are doing well and making a living, but for especially for a new band, very
Right.
difficult.
It is. It's very difficult. And I just did a show last weekend, and my boss, his daughter was bugging him. And she's like, I want to go. I want to go. And she's into rock music. She's like 15 years old. I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah. She's just like you, dresses in the black and everything's black and, rock and AC/DC. And she likes the older stuff. And I'm like, okay, bring her and, we'll get her. So she's talking to the band and they're all talking to her. And I told her, I said, just stick with it. I said, just stick with it. Don't ever give up on music. It's not going to give up on you. You'll get everything you want out of music. Just stay with it. It was nice seeing a 15-year-old, kids at a show with live and not on their phone. She didn't bring her phone out once. She was just like in awe. And I was like, I remember them days when we all were just like that.
Yeah. We
It's
didn't
like,
have cell phones back then.
no, thank God, or somebody would have it right in front of me in my
Lighters, just lighter.
lighters. I know it. It's like crazy. I see these
Couldn't talk
people.
on those and take pictures.
Right. Little disposable cameras that you sneak into the venue and you're like, oh my God, I can get these. And it used to be so cool. You'd be like, I got pictures from this show. I can't believe it. Now it's like, oh yeah, you got pictures? Yeah, they suck too.
There's a million of them. Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, come on. It's just changed so much. Cell phones are great, but yeah, I don't like them. I hate it.
It's like a
Yeah,
necessity, you especially today.
have you have to
You
have it.
you have a business or kids, family, it's like, man, you have to have one.
Right.
I couldn't imagine it, not having it for a week.
No.
I would be okay with it. Like,
Yeah.
I hate the phone anyways. So it's
But
like,
you'd go crazy.
I wouldn't know anything that's going on.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's like,
You wouldn't
I
know.
don't even have a landline anymore. So like, there
Right.
was an emergency. It's like, I need my phone.
Right. I don't have. Right. I lost mine. I was on the last Monsters Rock cruise, and I was out sitting on the stairs waiting to go into Rare Hair, and I must have set it on the step, and talking to people, and okay, started letting people in. So I go in, I sit down, and Chez Kane's coming up, and I'm like, okay, I got to get my phone ready, and I went to get my phone. I'm like, wait a minute, where? And the world stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta go. So I go out to try and find it. It's gone, and I'm like, I don't have the internet when I'm on there anyway. So I'd like to disconnect. But as far as taking pictures, and then I know, oh boy, when I get off this, I've got no connection to the radio station, to this, everything I got going on over here, and then I'm gonna be, what am I gonna do? And somebody turned it in, but it was like you automatically think, oh, life just ended. How? Wait a minute, what happened to my
Well,
phone?
there's so much more information on it than just, a
Right,
phone. So it's like your life's on there, like
it
everything,
is.
all your
It is
numbers and pictures, whatever,
everything.
apps, everything you need to, do what you do.
Right.
It's weird how just this little thing is so important to us today.
It is.
20
It's
years
like,
ago, we wouldn't even care.
right. When the flip phone came out, we all lost our mind going, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. And then the car phone back in I think it was late 80s or 90s, that big old freaking thing, and then they had the backpack or whatever. You carried the whatever and had this
Yep.
big old phone. Hey, man, look at me. I'm cool. Right. Now it's this stupid little thing right here.
I remember being on tour in the 80s, and our tour manager had a satellite phone, and it was in like a
Right.
little suitcase. It was like
Right.
huge, just for emergency. I really don't know why he had it, but
I mean,
it was funny because it was like, dude, that thing's huge. It was a suitcase, literally, like,
right.
you
It
know,
was,
it-
but
wild.
you
But
have
it
it.
was weird that you can actually call somebody in the middle of nowhere. I was like, wow, that's
Right.
cool.
It led us to this. Now we have a whole.
Now it's this little tiny thing.
Now I could run a radio station just with this thing.
Absolutely.
I don't like it. I
Some
like.
people do full podcasts. That's all they
Yeah.
use the phone.
I gotta have my laptop. If I'm using my phone, I'm never gonna be able to see anything. It's like and just
Yeah.
and your eyes are going. You wake up and your eyes are shot. It's like, come on, come on. Can we go to bigger screens now? Everything keeps getting
Right.
smaller, and I need it to go bigger.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Gotta have these on.
I have mine, but man, I'm still fighting it.
Yeah.
One thing. Oh, that's right. One thing I gotta talk to you about. Okay. Now I'm pull this out. I'm an album guy. I'm an album guy.
Nice.
So we see Bryan Jay right there, right? There's Bryan Jay right there.
Yes.
Right there. There's Bryan Jay. Look at that hair. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got some hair.
It's-
Now, how do you still have your hair and I don't have mine?
I hear that a lot. I don't know. It's kind of a curse in a way. It's at this age, like, but I'm like, I'll just wait till it start losing it. I'm not cutting it.
No, I wouldn't either, but I'm like fighting to keep mine. It still keeps getting pulled out. And I look at guys like, like this son of a bitch. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I was blessed with a head of hair, that's for sure. It
yeah,
it's
thick,
still
luxurious, just awesomeness, and it's
yeah,
not going anywhere. I
I
mean,
well, I hope not. So
I
far
hope
so
not.
good, maybe a little bit, but not
Right.
it's it's crazy. But
I just wondered if you had a secret, put mayonnaise all over it before you go to bed at night or something. I don't know. I
I
need
have I
something
have
here.
no secret. I do nothing to it, wash it every few days, and there's no secret.
Right.
It's all
Just
natural. Well,
all
back in
natural.
the day, I used to dye it. I mean, the blonde streaks and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
and that didn't ruin it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Maybe I'll start dyeing it. I mean, fuck it. I might as well try. I'm gonna try anything. I just whatever. That's one question I had to get to, and I almost forgot about it. So I
Yeah, I
think
get
I'm
I get so many, like, especially old ladies.
oh, ladies.
"Oh my god, is that your real hair?" It's so funny.
What do you use? What do you use? It's so soft. It's like, I don't use anything. I use a bar of soap.
Yeah, there
Right. I'll go home and use a bar of soap to try to whatever. Then their hair be falling out. But, it's like, it wa I at least I have some. I mean, there's others out there. It's going, but, it's not as good as other people's, I guess. I don't know. Gonna try
yeah,
to
well, it's okay because I wouldn't mind being bald. I'll do a Ron Keel and just shave it all off.
right. Right, and it would be so much easier. It really would. But God, it's just, half our personalities involved in our hair.
Yeah, it's
You
I've had
know?
long hair since I was a teenager, so it's like
Right.
and I think I never cut it super, super short since then.
Right.
It would be like it would be kinda weird not having it.
Right.
So,
I
really
experimented, one year I was going on a blind date and I'd met the girl and I still had the hair. And then she didn't like long hair. She was a country girl and this and that. So I was like, you know what? I've been wondering. So I went to this parlor and I had hair long and I said, cut it off. And she's like, what? No, no, no. And I knew the girl. She's like, no, no, no. And I said, just cut it all off. I said, I met this girl. She don't like long hair. And I said, she's pretty hot. I said, I'd like to, hey, I've been wondering, what it would be like to have short hair. Cause since I was 12, I had long. And she cut it all off and I was okay with it. And then about 2015, I'm like, I want to get it back again. And my wife told me. And, I ended up marrying the girl. So,
no,
it all worked out really well.
I was gonna say she broke up with you a week later after you cut
That would be my dumb luck. Oh, you cut your hair. I hate long hair, but look good on you. You're out of here, pal. But it ended up working out pretty good. But now, and she told me, she goes, you start growing your hair, I'm cutting mine. I said, no, you won't. She goes, if you start growing your hair, I'm gonna cut yours. I said, no, you won't. And so far, she's allowed me
there
to
you go.
have it back. So whatever. But
Happy life,
yeah, I guess unless she tells me to cut my hair again, then she's out the door. Don't tell her I said that. She's probably watching somewhere, but I'm gonna get in trouble. Now, let's talk about digital assassins. This thing intrigues me. I love this when I found this out about you. I've known you've dabbled with TV shows and scores and stuff like that. But after I got to looking, I was like, man, like the Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, The Sopranos, and that's just a drop. You have done a lot of like TV show scores, movies. Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah, it started in, like, 2009. So you had
Okay, that's where I got my year mixed up, dumbass.
yeah, that's when I started Digital Assassin Music, and I had another library before that with some partners, and, that didn't work out, so I started my own, and I really do a lot of international stuff. I'm all over the
Mhm.
world. I've got sub-publishers in, like, Australia, Japan, France, and Italy, and Germany, all those
Very
places.
nice.
So it's pretty wild. It's definitely an avenue to, make money other than being in a band, put music out
Right.
live. So
'Cause that don't make no money
a
no
lot
more.
different. It's weird in a way that, coming from being in bands and now writing songs to fit something else,
Right.
where it's you're writing for something as opposed to from your heart.
Right.
And then when I first started, I was still writing from my heart, and sometimes that's not what they want on TV show.
Right.
They want something simple and kind of silly, or sometimes they want very serious. So
Right.
it's been very cool. I love doing it because you can dabble in all different styles of music. I also play acoustic guitar, so do a lot of
Mhm.
acoustic stuff, and I got a lot of other musicians that have signed with my library, and it's been wild.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And to be doing that, you had the to have the music career. It's kind of not, where it once was, and now you've brought it, to where you can still have fun, still be you, and make money at it.
Right.
You've done the smart thing. You didn't put all your eggs over here and then lost everything and went, okay, no, you've created that avenue where you can still say I'm a full-time musician, really,
Yeah.
and it pays the bills.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. It is. It's a whole different world. I mean, really, Mark Ferrari from Keel. Uh,
Mhm.
he
Never
had
heard of them.
he, he had started his library, many years ago, and that's where I really learned about the libraries. He
Huh.
started telling me about how he's doing it and what's going on, and I never had planned on getting into that side of the business. I ended up going to a UCLA studying film composing,
Oh,
and I
wow.
was trying to get into more like film music and that side of it. And then it led me into starting a library. It was like, okay, well, film composers, it wasn't really my forte, as
Mhm.
there's guys that just are so orchestral and all that.
Right.
Coming in more in the rock and metal and
Like Kip Winger. Kip Winger's more the dude, he is so oh my god,
yeah, yeah.
unbelievable.
So it definitely led me into doing a library. So
Mm.
it all worked out. But it's just so many variations of music that you can do, and working with other people, and I love it.
Right.
Yeah, and I
I'm
can do it
sure.
forever, till I'm
And you
gone.
can you can do it from your phone.
You could. I wouldn't recommend that, but you
No.
could, I guess.
Now, what exactly do you mean by library? Just for the dumbass on the other end of this,
Well, I
microphone,
mean, think of a library. You go and,
you
there's
just
all these books, and you have all the different sections,
right?
fiction,
So you might have, like,
you
this
know
that would fit something like
right,
this.
you have
Okay,
hip hop over here,
okay,
electronica over here, acoustic stuff over here, jazz over here, metal, rock, blues, so you
right,
have all your different sections of music library. So
right. Okay,
that's the visual of it. Think of a regular library,
nice.
just music.
Very nice. I mean, and it kinda keeps you really, in a way, in tune with whatever everything that's going on in
Yeah,
music. You're
and that's
not
what's
just
wild about it, because I there's so much music out there today.
right.
So many artists and bands and songwriters. I Every time I turn around, I mean, I have no idea. Someone's on the Tonight Show or something. I mean, I've never heard of these people. Like,
I
how are they on the Tonight Show? How are they playing all these casinos? You see these billboards with these people. I'm going, I have no clue who that person is. And I'm in the music business.
Right.
Like, there's so much music out there. It's so saturated.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can't keep up with everything, but yeah, if you're just into one genre of music,
No, you're out.
yeah,
You're
it's like
out.
you
You
just
can't be.
yeah. I mean, you could be that person, like you're the metal guy, so they would come to you if they need metal.
Right.
But that, it makes you a smaller category. So
Right.
you
And
want to
you're not
offered
How many
more.
times is that door going to get knocked on?
Right.
You
Right.
know, as opposed to you being in a wide range, multi, and they can come to you and say, "Hey, you got anything for this?" They go. You could be one of 5 guys that they go to,
Right.
and see, and it keeps you on the pulse of the music, knowing what's going on. You might not know every artist, but you know the trends that are going on. You know what's happening, and that's everything. You've got to know, like even with TikTok, you got to know trends. You
Yeah,
know this.
absolutely.
This is the sound people are looking for right now, and you're dialed into that.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep up with everything. There's so much going on and so fast, but you just got to find your vein
Right.
and do what you do, and that's all you can really do. But it's led me into really becoming a mixer, mixing music and mastering music,
Hmm.
and it's taught me so much, than
Right.
just the one thing. So it's pretty wild. I love it. Music's my passion, so as long as I'm in there somewhere, it's like
Right.
I'm happy.
It's exactly it. People ask me. I do play drums. I'm not very good at it. But people ask me, were you ever in a band? Yes, back then, a garage thing, and I drum teched and this and that. Yeah, that was the greatest thing. I thought, man. But then after that went away, got the day gig that I do the job and got the family and everything like that. And then around 2015, it was like, okay, I could do this. And then I hosted a radio show. And then, so it's like I'm still part of it.
Right.
It's still there. I can still just listen to music and find this and find that. It's just nice being still a part of it. You might not be what you.
Absolutely. I mean, if I lost everything,
Oh God.
I would still listen to music every day.
Right. Every day.
I listen to music more than anything. Just
What?
if I'm not playing, I'm listening. Not
Right.
writing, I'm listening. It's just my passion.
Right.
It's I'm sure a lot of people out there feel that way.
Oh yeah. Especially us 80s people.
Yeah.
We are the ones that it just engulfs our whole, it's not, we like music, we live it.
Yes.
It is who we are. It is an attitude. It is our whole being. And try to explain that to some kids nowadays, it's like they don't get it.
Right.
It's everything to us.
And it's wild because growing up, like I can't remember not liking music. I mean, since I was a little kid, I think my first time seeing like a real guitar player was Roy Clark on Hee Haw.
Hee haw!
It's going like I was like, I want to play that. It's
Right.
like I mean, and he was really good.
He was really good. He really didn't need to be on hee haw.
Yeah,
I mean, he was very good.
but I mean, he
Hee
was doing
hee
stuff
ha
back
ha
then.
ha. I remember that.
He was playing stuff back then that like
Yeah.
today in metal are playing.
Right.
Just technique and his speed and just crazy
Who
stuff.
was that? Who was that one guitarist, musician? Who was the one that just, or band that just absolutely changed your whole direction?
Well, the Beatles' White Album was like my first rock record I bought,
Really?
and I was very young, and that really changed my life. Like I wanted to play guitar.
Right.
The band that just floored me, changed my life was Black Sabbath.
Oh.
And the first time I heard Black Sabbath, it was all over.
It's all over.
That was
Totally different direction now.
I was like, I gotta do something with this. Grab it here. I don't know what, but it was like Black Sabbath to me.
Right.
That was my first concert. I was probably 13.
Oh shit.
And just
Damn.
changed my life.
It's funny how that happens. It's funny looking back, and I've done that. I went, what was that one band? And I know it was Judas Priest, 1982, changed my life.
Yeah.
I heard it on the radio. I was like, wait a minute.
It's so cool because you're like thinking back is like, think of Eddie Van Halen. Was that 77, 78?
78.
All guitarists before him, I was like Jimmy Page, and Robin
Ted
Trower,
Nugent, them
Nugent,
guys.
Richie
Yeah.
Blackmore,
Blackmore. Oh,
Brian May, all these guys. And then the day I first heard Eddie Van Halen, Eruption,
the
it was
world
like,
stopped
it,
turning.
yeah, it was
I
like
mean,
that. How many? I mean, Hendrix was probably like that. They
yeah.
came out,
Oh, yeah.
changed guitar, and like that's what Eddie Van Halen was, not just to me, but
To a
to
lot.
everybody.
Even though I wasn't a guitar player.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wanted to quit. I was like,
Right.
I was just listening to it over and over and go, I have no idea what's he doing there. I didn't know any tapping stuff. I hadn't
No,
seen him play, and that was a game changer.
it really was. And,
Yeah,
you didn't know, you knew it at the time. Actually, you did know it at the time when he hit. You're like, things are just about to hit the fan here,
yeah,
and it was like, and it was 1970. I was 8 years old and I was into Ted Nugent.
yeah.
I love Ted Nugent. I wanted to be a guitar player,
Yeah.
want to be just like him. No. And then Eddie Van Halen come out. And I was like, I give up. That's not happening. I'll just go to drums.
There you go.
I was shit on guitar. And I'm not the greatest on drums, but I was like, I got more of a shot here. And I didn't have a shot at that either.
Yeah,
But
he definitely, it's to live in the time that we lived, and then growing up in the 80s and being part of that whole music scene. I mean, I don't think there'll ever be another time
no.
quite like it. There'll be somebody else, something else in the future, but that, I don't know, Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen, what I mean, in Ingve, but
Hell yeah.
there was like three different eras there but Ingve was still playing kind of classical music,
Right.
basically. Eddie was just, who knew what he was doing?
He didn't even know what the fuck he was doing. He's like, he'd sit there and just be like, wow, I just did that. I don't know how I would do that. Dude, the best one was, I don't know if you've seen this, at the episode of 2.5 Men, when he come out of the crapper. And he's got his guitar. And he's like, that was 2 burritos and a root beer. I was like,
yeah, that was a great scene.
it was.
Very, very cool.
And I'm like, that's probably how it happens with him. It's like he just gets something and okay, I gotta just edit. Yeah. Oh my god.
He was the guitar. It was like
he was the guitar.
attached to him. Same with Hendrix. Stories about him
Right. It's just
waking up, guitars in his hand. It was like fell asleep with it.
right. They lived it. And nowadays, I don't know.
I mean, there's some really amazing guitar players like out there, TikTok and all these guys that do some phenomenal things.
Right.
But
start a band.
Yeah, having that live music though,
right.
We get saturated on, YouTube and TikTok and stuff with all these guys. A lot of really phenomenal players.
Right.
But I want to see them live.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go to a concert and let's do it.
You don't know how long they've been practicing that one thing that you see. And you figure they've had like 100 takes in the last year. They finally got one that was right. They posted. I'm a superstar. I can't do nothing else. That's why they're sitting in their basement.
Some of those guys are really good.
I'm sure of it.
I know they can do it live too. Some of them do it live.
Right.
But I guess the pandemic kind of changed everything for a while for the live shows. And now it just seems like there's just so much of it going on right now.
Right.
Which is good. I'm
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all about the live show.
Yes.
That brings me to a question.
Yes.
Okay. We had the Dio hologram thing, and I wasn't a fan of that. I was like, I don't know. I've never caught Dio. I wish I would have. I had the opportunity. Funny story. I'm going to say this first. We're in Virginia Beach, spent a week in Virginia Beach, and back in '88, me, my cousin, aunt and uncle, and we look, and Megadeth, Dio, and Ace Frehley are playing down the road this thing. We couldn't get there, so whatever. So we had the time of our life there, and we were going to stay another day. And my aunt said, "Okay, we'll stay another day, but you have to sell your Bon Jovi Keel tickets." No, we're going home. Me and my cousin, and that was 88. I think it was their New Jersey tour, and it was at Vet Stadium in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I just remember, and she's like, because it would have been, we would have been staying, and we would have missed it anyway because it would have been the next that day. And we were like, no, we're not missing this. No, that's Keel, one of our all-time favorite bands. We're like, no, we're going home. You know, they wanted to stay, but they wanted to see if we, and there was no takers on that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember where I was going with this. I lose track of thought every now and then. But
did you go to the show?
Oh, you damn right I went to the show. Are you kidding me? Freaking blew the stage up. It was like, I remember, oh my God, what a show. I mean, and Virginia Beach, we had the time, me and my cousin still say this to this day. We had the time of our life. We didn't drink a drop. We didn't smoke pot. We didn't do anything. So we got to the Keel show and then we was doing all kinds of shit. But it was like, I mean, but it was such a great show. I mean, blew Bon Jovi off the stage. I had seen Bon Jovi before, and it was Keel was just like on fire. It was just wow.
Yeah,
You know,
that
one of
was
them things.
that was a great time. That was a great tour. Yeah.
Oh, that was about. Oh my God, and that was the only time I've ever seen Keel until 2018 Monsters of Rock tour, or
Oh,
Monsters of Rock
okay.
cruise.
Oh,
Yeah,
very cool. At
so
least
it
you
was
got
only
in the heyday.
yeah, and that's it. And you know, you go to the live show. I need to go to this show. You want to stay an extra week? No, I got to go to this live show. So now they're trying to take it away, and I'm like, okay. There was something that happened this past weekend that I was shaking my head about and go, I don't understand this. And then today, either Ozzy Osbourne was interviewed yesterday or today, and they brought up the subject of, would you do an AI of Randy Rhoads or bring
Yes,
it back? And I'm like,
I saw that.
you
Yeah,
saw that? And I'm like, are they serious here?
yeah,
And Ozzy's like, Ozzy, I'm not against it. I'm like, I'm against it.
yeah.
So you wanted to, what was the best thing for us and the best moment in our life every single time we get to experience it is that live show, the band on stage and the crowd in the pit. And they
Right.
want to take it and put it on a video screen or make it hologram. I don't understand this. What are your thoughts? Is Keel going to go on and Dogbone going to go on as a hologram now?
Well, the AI thing, I mean, just to talk about that for a second, it could be very good and it could be
Right,
very bad.
right.
And it's not just in music, it's in so many other things. You know, they're they're implementing that into
Film.
politics and business and
Mhm.
everything. So I I don't know what to think about it.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
it's like, when we first had YouTube and the computer and software, it was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's taking over everything. But
Right,
I learned how to adapt to it, and we try to use it the best we can, and in the ways that
right.
we need to use it. So hopefully, the AI thing isn't going to hurt the music business too much, because who's it going to hurt? It's going to hurt the musicians.
The
Like, why
musician.
do you need me when you can just type in, "Hey, give me a Bryan Jay solo for this," and it does it
Right.
itself. So it's a bit scary on that side, but
Mhm.
I don't know how far can they take it, where it's gonna go,
Right. I don't understand
dabbled in it yet.
exactly.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled in it. I don't know, I know there's some programs out there.
Right.
I think it's cheating, and that bothers me because
Yes.
I'm kind of a perfectionist anyways. I want to do it myself
Right.
and make it the best I can. So if I could just type it in and it does it for me, I feel like I didn't really play that, or he didn't
Right.
really sing that. Like,
There was
But
another.
the thing is, it's technology, and it's going to be there. It's going to happen. It's already happening.
If
Uh,
you don't go, if you don't grab onto it, somebody else is going to.
that's true.
If you
That's true.
don't pioneer it, and I think that's what Kiss was thinking, is if we pioneer this, that we're the trendsetter, and because let's face it, Kiss is a merchandising machine. I
Oh,
mean, they are. Gene
yeah,
Simmons is a love him or hate him, he's brilliant,
yeah,
absolute brilliance. You
absolutely.
know, and I think I see, but then I don't see. But I'm like, it's still confusing. I don't understand it yet.
Yeah, how many jobs is it going to take over? How many
Right.
things is it going to take over? I mean, we've seen this type of thing happen before. Computers and robots, and
Yeah.
will it? Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that. It's like I guess
I don't either. I was hoping you did.
it's kind of scary.
It
When
is.
you think about it, and then you think, well, things have changed so much in the last 40 years. Like, every moment was scary as a change, and then we got used to it. We learned how to use it and deal with it. So I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
It's scary to me.
It is.
Yeah,
Instead of if Kiss is it's a machine. I mean, you could take 4 of the best guys in Kiss tributes and say, "Here you go.
yeah,
You're now in the band.
right.
Take it."
Right.
And they're young, they're 20s. Bam, take it, ride it out, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a great idea. But then Kiss would have to pay somebody else, and I don't think they want to do that. Which I get that too, but to give people, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. What are you
I
gonna
don't get.
do? I'm speechless.
I know.
I've heard some of the recordings. There's one with Drake where he did
Yes,
this rap. It's like not even him. I
nope.
heard one with Ozzy.
I didn't
Ozzy.
hear that one.
Yeah, he sang Shania Twain's song. Well, it was AI having him sing
Right.
Shania Twain.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah,
That would be interesting. Ozzy
the
singing
Osbourne,
Shania Twain.
yeah, the Osbournes podcast. Jack
Okay,
actually
okay,
plays it. So listen to it on YouTube or wherever
okay.
you get the podcast. And he plays it, and it kind of sounds like Ozzy, but
Without the grumbling.
it sounds like a computer to me.
Right,
You could tell it's not real, but
right.
I'm
But
sure it's going to get better and better as it goes.
right, kids nowadays, they don't know the difference. I trained my daughter to realize the difference between a computer generated voice or a computer, manipulated voice and a real voice. She'd argue with me. No, he's really singing. But after I'm showing her this is now she could pick it out. She'd be like, "Ah, that's not a real voice."
Right.
It's like
Well,
exactly.
just think about, but the majority, the young kids growing up, they're hearing everything on little earbuds,
Right.
headphones, their phone, you
Right.
know, and we're mixing music to sound really good through speakers and
15-inch speakers and
well,
system.
they're not listening to it that way. They get
No.
used to it. They're getting used to
Right.
electronic music,
Right.
computers. So they're growing up like this is normal. Where
Right.
we're going, oh, God,
Are you
need to
kidding me?
you need to listen to John Bonham actually play his
Right.
drums.
Yes.
You need to listen to Rush. These guys actually play these songs.
They
But
could play instruments.
they're I don't think they care because new generation is just so programmed to what they're hearing and what they're using. Everything's on your phone, so you're
Right.
listening to the little tiny speaker.
Yep.
You're not hearing bass.
Nope.
Bass doesn't sound like that.
No.
You got to have the proper headphones or proper speakers. Go to a
And
live.
that's what I tell people. They send me music all the time. It's like, hey, check this out. It's like, okay. And then 5 minutes goes by. What did you think? I'm not listening to it yet. I'm at work. I have my phone. I usually first time I listen to something is either through my stereo, old school stereo, or headphones.
Yeah.
And that's the way it has to be. I want to hear it. If I listen to it on my phone, I'm not hearing it. I
Yeah.
might
I don't like that either.
I might, be scrolling and give something 30 seconds and be like, okay, I like that. I'll take a picture of it and save it for later so that when I get home, I listen to it the right way. But there's a right way to listen to something. I want to hear it. And if you're asking me my opinion of it or do you like it, I don't know that yet, not until I actually hear
Right.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
just the way it is. But
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got to hear it through a system, and it's doesn't sound right on the phone.
no, not at all.
No.
It's got its uses. Music isn't one of them.
Yes.
No. Unless they get a big 15-inch woofer going on in here,
Yeah,
that would be good. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
I'll hook you to my car and listen through my car speakers.
Right. I'll do that,
That's cool.
because my system in my truck is good. But
Nice.
not listening to something, no, you can't do that. I can't, no. And that's why everybody thinks these computer generated voices are cool because they're only listening to their phone. You're exactly right. I never thought of it that way.
No.
That's perfect.
And they're used to it. They're going to get used to it, and they're going to accept it.
Right.
And that's just how it is. Like, I don't like it, but I don't have to listen to it. That's
I know.
You don't have to listen.
I can listen Dogbone through the speakers on my system. I don't have to listen to it on my phone, and I'm not gonna.
There you go.
So, getting back to Dogbone before we wrap things up.
Yes.
I'm gonna play the new Speed Kills as we leave. But anything else you want to get out there about Dogbone and anything else going on as we wrap up?
Yeah, we'll go to our YouTube page. I just have a couple videos up there now. We're posting a lot more stuff in the future. Subscribe to our page. Give us a shout out. You could go to dogbonetheband.com. It's our website. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Tell us what you think. You want to hear more music. Let us know.
Yes.
Like, it's good to hear from fans and from people that actually like the songs, or you don't like it. You don't have to listen to it, but it's good to
I don't
know.
think there's anybody that won't like this. I really don't think so.
Well,
I'm sure the feedback's already been good. I mean,
yeah, we've gotten some really good feedback.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it. It's hard work, putting all this stuff together and getting this going, and then when you hear some good news and good feedback, it makes us feel good, as musicians and songwriters, and it's always a blessing to.
It's your heart and soul out there for everybody, and it's nice when you connect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And guys like you, doing these podcasts, thank you so much for doing this stuff, because you're helping all of us out.
We're one little cog in the machine. We just got to keep it rolling. This is the new way of calling your buddy on the phone like you did back in the 80s and say, man, you got to hear this. Now you can go live and say, hey, I got this dude on here, man. I got Bryan Jay. Let's talk to him and find out about this stuff. You got to use what you have to reach people, because there's so much garbage out there, and people they're sick of clicking on something and getting disappointed. So they rely on things like this for me to go, okay, I heard Dogbone. All right. I like him. And we're going to talk to the guy. We're going to listen to a song or two, because they don't have to click. They can go, okay, I usually align with Mike. Me and him see eye to eye music wise. Now I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah. Well, appreciate what you do, man. It's very cool.
Hey, we love what you do, and whatever we can do to help you do what you do, we're here for you.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so we'll say goodbye.
All right, man. Hey, man, have a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year.
You too, and keep doing the music, keep doing the everything. You got anything new coming out that you want to get out there? Hit me up.
Absolutely.
I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
Anything.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, man.
You have a good night. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. Have a good one.
All right. Bryan Jay, that was a fun conversation, man. I tried like hell not to fanboy. I didn't fanboy. I don't think I fanboyed. All right. So, like I said, we are going to listen to their brand new song. It's been out for a little while. It was actually available on Lives the Rock Volume 1 from RFK Media, Ron Keel and Aaron Fisher's record label. Fantastic. If you go there, rfkmedia.com, I do believe. Aaron Fisher's listening. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go there, get the CD. Like I said, it's got some really good tunes on it, really good artists on it. Snakebite, Dogbone, Pamela Moore, The Fifth, many different ones. Other ones, Sister's Doll is on there. It's just a really good CD. Get it. Dogbone's on there, and their latest release, they just released the lyric video for this in November 8th. So here is Dogbone and Speed Kills. I will see you all again next week. Like I said, my guest will be Mike Floros. And yeah, next week. So be here and we'll have more fun like we did today. Absolutely. All right. Here is Speed Kills right there. All right.